I watch. He doesn't even answer the question. He has no intention of answering Pat's question because he's gone to get some revenge on ESPN right here.
Is everything better? Is everything funner? Is everything more awesome? Like, how do you kind of view this year versus maybe the years of the past?
I'm going to plead the fifth.
Oh.
Here he goes. He starts off with, I'm going to plead the fifth. You know where this is going. And if anybody knows Aaron Rodgers' history, he was totally ridiculed for not taking the vaccine. Just like the tennis player Jukin, and just like Kyrie Irving.
Okay.
Okay.
Pat McAfee's getting really nervous right now because he is beholden to ESPN, so he's getting really nervous right now.
Like
Gotta
that,
love that guy. Okay.
like that absolute coward, Tony Fauci. Absolute.
Wasn't a coward.
Yeah.
There, it's back,
Are
baby.
you kidding me?
Yeah, 111
You got a
times.
pardon and you're in front and you pleaded over 100 times
Yeah.
at the White House. What are you scared of, Tony?
Yeah.
I thought you were the science.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought you were I am science, and you get up there and you can't answer a question.
Yeah.
What are we doing? And how much time did the network spend at that?
Here he goes. He's going to talk about ESPN, and this is what everybody should be talking about. How much time the network spend on this?
And how much time did they spend on my responses every week, on my vaccination status, on Taylor and Travis's wedding?
Yeah!
Did they do even a minute? Did they do even a minute on Tony Fauci?
No, I don't think I've heard
Nah.
it.
So when they interview these people, Pat McAfee, he's kind of in between a rock and a hard place because he works for ESPN. He's getting all this money for ESPN, but he's got an interviewer, so he can listen, but he can't add to the interview.
I bet they didn't.
But on that note,
Then there was another scandal this offseason, too, involving a voter for MVP, for Coach of the Year. How much time did you get?
I think he's talking about this scandal. I think he's talking about, he's either talking about Bill Belichick or talking about the reporter, and the other guy, the other coach for New England. I'm not sure exactly what scandal he's talking
Did your
about.
network spend? Where's your cap?
Whoa.
Did your network spend on
our
that?
network.
I wish I
How
could
much time did
Fauci.
you
Go back
spend?
to Fauci.
This
I wish I
is
could
awesome.
Fauci.
This is awesome.
Yeah,
Go
Tony,
back
go
to
back to Fauci?
Yeah.
Go back to the coward Tony Fauci and his science?
Hold on now.
Who's spending the entire time writing in his diary about how fun it is to be famous? You got to be kidding me.
Okay, so on that note,
What are you going to say about me now?
Debate him.
What are you going to say
Debate
about me
him.
no,
now?
I got no debate.
So Aaron Rodgers is on his last year of his career, and he is letting it all hang out. He's not caring about anything this year. So this is why this was intentionally planned. Right
Here,
here.
you had a
No,
500.
seriously, what are they going to say about me now? Now that you can't talk about the COVID stuff because obviously it was made, in a lab in China. That's like not even questionable anymore. Tony Fauci is an absolute criminal. I'm on good terms with my family.
You're gonna realize how unusual this is. No one ever goes on ESPN and talks about, especially right wingers going on ESPN and talk about things that are not woke or not left leaning concepts. They talk about racism all the time. They talk about the WNBA and all this stuff, but they will never go on and they don't even mention they didn't even mention like Mark Sanchez when he stabbed that guy. Then not one word about Mark Sanchez. He just disappeared. So when they have people on ESPN that do things badly, or they have people that are related, like reporters that are connected to ESPN, that should be reported on, they're not, because ESPN is trying to protect themselves.
I'm on good terms with my family. What are you going to say now? What are you going to say
I
now?
want to let you know, it's been a fun ride for you, I would assume, over the last
It's
couple.
been a great life and a great career. And it's nice to be sitting on this side now, especially after that coward played the fifth over 100 times.
Okay.
I thought you had a pardon there, Tony. Why couldn't you answer one question the entire time?
Pat's getting nervous. He won't let this go. Pat's like, let's move on. He won't let this go. Look at that look on his face. That look on Pat's face. He's like, man, I gotta get through this. I gotta get him past this stuff. Matter of fact, the network, I was watching this, and the network, here in a minute, they wind down. They say, you know, he'll be after these messages, the show will be on YouTube. So I don't know if they cut him off and put him on YouTube, or if that was, I don't watch Pat McAfee, so I don't know if that was how they normally do it, or if they did it because of what was going on here.
Okay, we got 4 minutes until the hard out.
Yeah, I got 4 more minutes.
Like,
we can keep this shit going. We can keep it going.
Like
I got at least 4 minutes.
Okay,
There's a lot of silence, though, but I will say this: I gotta give flowers to Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, so Stephen A. Smith came out earlier this week and apologized to Kyrie Irving because Stephen A. Smith lit Kyrie Irving up, called him a loser and all this stuff back when he refused to take the vaccination. So Stephen A. Smith apparently came out on his podcast or ESPN, his show, one or the other, and he came out and he apologized publicly to Kyrie Irving. And so this is what Aaron's talking about here.
My old friend Stephen A., because he was man enough to actually admit and apologize to Kyrie Irving. Yes, so I got to give a shout out to my guy, Stephen A. You are not a coward. I appreciate you.
Okay, can we talk about, we'll wrap up that.
Here goes Pat's trying to change the conversation again. And he said, can we move on? Kyrie Irving, for those of you that don't know, he's an NBA basketball player. I think he plays for the Celtics, or used to. I don't follow NBA, but I'm pretty sure he plays for the Celtics. Or he did. I don't know if he still does.
Other than that, there's been a lot of silence, I feel like, like 19 seconds about one subject. Oh, don't talk about that. We can talk about Rex Ryan's foot fetish, but please don't talk about, any
now he's starting to drop names.
else right now. Don't talk about, any scandals involved. Don't talk about, pop culture. Talk about Taylor and Travis's wedding. Yeah, what do the insiders know about that?
He's bringing up Taylor and Travis's wedding, which I love because I can't stand Travis Kelce or Taylor Swift.
Don't talk about, shit that actually has to do with our business or right.
Then he starts dropping cuss words. He starts dropping a couple F-bombs, and it gets really hairy.
Can we remind people? Can we remind people a little bit why you're doing all this? Can we remind people?
No, I don't care.
Okay, so in 2000,
here's Pat trying to see. Here's what he's doing. Here's what Pat's doing. He's saying, can we remind people why you're doing this? So he's saying to Aaron, A, please don't do this anymore. B, he's trying to take over the talking to control the conversation, to control the interview so that Aaron won't say anymore. So he's saying, can we remind people why you're doing this? So Pat's going to tell the story about what happened to Aaron, but he's going to tell it in a smoother, more advantageous way to ESPN and kind of try to calm things down.
20. Okay, we were there for all of this.
2021.
Sorry, 2021.
It really went down.
Okay, there was a 500-page report.
Twice.
So as much of a rebel as everybody likes to think Pat McAfee is, he still is a company man. Why? Because they pay him $300 and something million to be a company man. $50 million a year is what they're paying him. So he's gonna have to play ball here.
That Aaron looked into with many doctors about his body and said vaccination. Now, that became.
So here he is controlling the conversation. Got Aaron to be quiet, calming Aaron down. He's controlling the conversation. He's saying, "Hey, let me tell this story and let me try to get through this interview without getting fined or fired."
A talking point of COVID, I believe, around the entire globe. And the only reason why I know that is because I was
coming on the show every week. We were talking.
I was called a murderer.
Aaron is fired up. You can see he's emotional. He's pumped up. He's been playing this for a while.
Because I was platforming Aaron Rodgers, who was making the decision that was best for himself. So as soon as I see all this start happening with Fauci, I knew that, boy, you were certainly having a time because your name was slandered. You were called a murderer. You were called a lot of things.
I was endangering my teammates and this and that. Now look what happened. We talked about they suppressed early treatments. They lied about where it came from.
Look at Pat's face. Look at Pat. Look at Pat. Look at him. He's like, oh, man. He's going back into it again. Pat can't get control Pat can't get control of this interview.
Tony Fauci's writing in his journal about, I don't want to, create any vaccine hesitancy if I tell them what the actual stats are. How many papers have been written? How many McCulloughs and Malones and all the great doctors out there who actually did treatment on the front end and repurposed drugs that are the safest profiles in the world. But no, Tony Fauci pushing his medicine just like he did back in the 80s. And now when you have an auto pen pardon.
Hey, Jay, you know what happened.
You have an auto pen pardon. But and you can't answer one.
If you were ever confused as to which side of the aisle Aaron Rodgers lands on, this should clear it up for you. And then later on, they mention Marty Smith from Marty McGee, and they're like, Marty Smith will love this, because he's from the South. Well, we'll get into that later.
Hey, now, real quick,
not even your name. Come on, what are we doing?
Can we do this
and how much time did the network spend on that?
Hey, can we do something for you real quick?
How much time?
Hey, can we do something?
Here's Pat trying to get a hold of it again.
Yeah.
Hey, way to stand on your truth throughout the entirety of that thing.
I feel great about it.
Congratulations.
See, here's Pat trying to say, I was behind you. I was your, I was your mouthpiece. I was your champion. But Pat, when Aaron started going off the rails, I don't think it's off the rails, but according to ESPN, off the rails, basically they cut him off Pat's show for a long time. I don't know if that was Pat or ESPN that did that, but either way, Pat's a company man. I mean, hey, I'm not judging the guy. If I was making $50 million a year, and I'd be protecting my stuff too, within reason. I mean, you got to say, is this a hill I want to die on? Maybe or maybe not. Just depends on who you are and what you believe in, what you stand for.
I feel great about it. I told you I'd be on the right side of history when I had that mustache.
Like I said, I can't blame Pat for trying to calm this down, because he's making a lot of money. He's got all these guys right here that he's responsible for their income, their families, and all that stuff. So, you can't judge people. You don't know where they are in life. You don't know where they are in their heart. You just got to say, in life, you got to say, hey, I got to, here's what I believe, and here's where I'm going to stand, and here's where I'm drawing the line. Apparently Pat's not ready to draw the line at $50 million.
We're in New York.
Yeah, but you had that Halloween party, though, that killed a lot of people, remember? You had that Halloween party.
Oh, yeah. We were a 10,000 square foot warehouse with 21 people, and, the I Am Science says 6 foot of distancing. That'll be a good thing. If we can scare them enough, they'll probably take this vaccine that's had zero.
And I'd forgotten about all this. He's not lying. They treat them like lepers. They treated people like lepers that didn't have the vaccine, especially people in professional sports. I remember Jukin, the tennis player, he set out a whole year because he refused to take the vaccine. He missed a whole year of, U.S. Opens, Australian Opens, whatever, all the majors. He missed them all because he refused to take the vaccine. And it turned out a lot of people were dying from the vaccine. A lot of people have bad health problems now from the vaccine. So, somebody needs to come up and stand up and do it. I'm glad Aaron's doing
Trial's done for it. You have no idea what the consequences are. There's no informed consent. You can't even look at the insert to know what you're doing.
They were talking about people on the news the other day that they had family members that were dying, and they couldn't say goodbye to their family members because of this rule about 6 feet rule, and they had to be on the other side of glass and watch their family members die. They couldn't even say goodbye, couldn't hold their family members. That's the kind of things that are terrible when you think about it. It's all fun and games, but when you think about people who lost family members and couldn't be with them when they were on their last breath, this guy should answer for this. Fauci guy should answer for something, but he won't. They won't do anything to him. They're just going to ridicule him, but nothing will happen to him. Just like nothing happened to Hillary. It's like nothing happened to any of them.
They're not even.
The Benghazi thing. Hillary should be in jail for that, for the Benghazi thing.
Pulling the plunger back to make sure that they got it in the right spot in the arm. Like, what are we even talking about here? the insanity. I sat here amongst a lot of actually brave Americans who avoided the $1 trillion propaganda.
Notice how they're pulling the camera back. Now they're pulling the camera back because they're not trying. They don't want to focus on Aaron. They're trying to pull the camera back. They're afraid. They just want to be out of this segment.
Campaign that was hijacked on the American public. And
they could cut the audio without looking bad. They would do it.
Hey, way to go.
Do you have anything to say?
Here they are. Now they're moving. So this is where they move. This part was live on ESPN, and now after this break, they're moving to YouTube only. And this is where I got this clip on YouTube. But this is where I watched it on TV, and they moved to YouTube. And I don't know if that's normal for this show or if they were doing that because of this conversation. So I don't know. I'm just not privy to that.
To say?
We'll be back tomorrow on TV, live from Indianapolis. That's MVP Aaron Rodgers. Okay, good. And now we're digital. Now we continue.
Now you can really let it go.
So this is, I think, where they start cussing a little bit more, I guess, because they know they're on YouTube.
Okay. Now we will continue. I want to let you know, good for you, man.
Yeah.
Just because everything that was said about you
awesome.
for years and years by a lot of people, man. There were some powerful positions coming out saying you were the worst person on earth.
Remember 8 Mile, right? In the last rap, you remember what he does?
Yeah,
Against Papa Doc. He basically said, "This is all the shit you're going to say about me," right?
Yeah.
It's like all these different narratives. He's this, he's that, blah, blah, blah. His family hates him.
Man, Aaron is not
He's
letting
a
us
murderer.
go.
He's endangering old people. All the bullshit over the years. Like, just keep it 100. That's all I'm saying. Just keep it 100. I'm not taking this fucking victory lap.
Kinda.
It's just like,
I think we should, kinda. I
Then
think we
start
should,
it.
kinda. Yeah, it feels like you kinda should. Now, on that note,
seriously, come on. What
we
are
got to
even
worry about.
talking
Pat's getting a little bit more relaxed now. Now that he's off ESPN and he's on YouTube, now he's kind of loosening up. Now he's getting into it, and now he's a little bit more. If you can see, he looks a lot more relaxed and loose
Ball
now.
at some point. But on that note, I am very thankful that you're having this experience that you're having because, boy, it got real loud. You were a very terrible person.
Years.
I mean, it was, and I was the reason why I know this. I
What
was
is
next to you in
the
those
network
mentions.
doing? Like, you have literally an individual that maybe used to work at ESPN that covers our league at the highest level, and there's a major scandal, and it's just like, nope.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's talking about Orsini or whatever her name is that was sleeping with the coach of the Patriots. What's his name? I can't remember his name, but anyway, Rossini she worked for ESPN, and they never said a word about it.
Fucking talk.
Never reported on it.
Personal lives are personal lives. I feel like you of all people should know that. But.
I understand, but if it's affecting certain things, if there's leaks going on, if there's tampering going on, if that person is also an MVP voter and a Coach of the Year voter. Remember when I won MVP in 2021?
Yeah,
and that bum in Chicago?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's real life. Like, how are we allowing these
What was
people to
that
have an
guy's name?
impact?
Pornhub our Kush is what we call
Pornhub
it.
our Kush,
But,
yeah, I
yeah.
remember he had a name. Okay, so on that note, good for you, man. Hey, actually,
Here he is trying to move it along. Let's get past this. Let's get past all this conspiracy stuff. Let's move along to football.
I told these boys I was bringing it today.
Did you tell Bert that?
No,
did
Bert
not
loves
know.
it.
Yeah, Bert
Bert loves it.
dude, if you just go back and search Aaron's name, and you should take this in. You should take this in.
Yeah. But there's probably some,
Oh, definitely.
No,
courageous
don't-
individuals back there.
Okay. So I was about to say, there's no need to bury anybody back here. 'Cause
No, and I said there's some courageous individuals
That's
back
all
there.
you do that because there was a lot of enemies of yours.
So they get back into football, and then later on down the line, towards the end, towards the end. See if I could get this. He's talking about fake vaccination cards. I think Aaron had one. I think he got busted for having one or something.
They didn't have a problem with that. I mean, I remember seeing some of the vax cards. I'm like, it was like written in crayon. I'm like, All right, so we're going to pass that off, but we're going to be second-rate citizens over here. I got to wear a yellow armband, train in the back. Can't be around more than 3 people. Oh, you know, you got to wear a mask when you do your interview, and all of us are going to be masked up the entire time back here. We're 20 feet away from you because that's safety first. What a crock of shit we had to go through.
I mean, he was on one, man. He was talking about, you know, they were second-rate citizens. You know, they had to vaccinate. They had to wear armbands, and I forgot all about
Crazy
that.
time. What a unbelievable. And we survived it.
Yes, we all did.
We survived it.
And you won MVP 2 times.
Twice.
That's crazy. You
And
did
that bum couldn't stop it the second time. You know what I mean?
Arkush.
Bum Arkush.
Hey, we appreciate the hell out of you. I am so pumped to see how you play football.
So that's it. That's Aaron Rodgers' interview with Pat McAfee.